know, as history has proven itself, and as they say sometimes, you never forget your first. I know I haven't. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sauna. It is I, Papa Steam, bringing you another classic pay-per-view review. Since Summerslam is this weekend, or as of time of this recording, a week from now, I figured I would go ahead and watch the very first SummerSlam from 1988. We threw it way back for this one. This show is mainly known as the debut match of the Mega Powers, Hulk Hogan, and the WWF Champion, the Macho Man Randy Savage, as you see by the thumbnail. And that's kind of all this show is known for, but we're going to watch it anyways. This show took place at MSG, Madison Square Garden, New York City, August 29th, 1988. Almost 20,000 in attendance and over 400,000 pay-per-view buys. Holy shit, people wanted to watch this show. On commentary, we got Gorilla Monsoon and Superstar Billy Graham. Shout out to Superstar Billy Graham. It's been a while since I've heard his voice in anything, really. Yeah. The original plan for this show was supposed to be when Ric Flair was supposed to debut from the NWA to challenge Randy Savage for the WWF title. But Ric Flair said no. Could you imagine if we got that? That would have been cool. And could you imagine if we gotten Flair and Hogan in WrestleMania 8? That would have also been cool. But we got neither of those. Until WCW, but I'm not talking about WCW right now, because why would I want to? Anyways, you know the classic pay-per-view drill. I'm going to rattle off some matches, go quick highlights, and give you my grade and all that jazz stuff. This is the first time we've done a show, I think, in the 80s. So the matches were a little quicker. And it's different from modern wrestling. So let's start us off. Your opening contest is a tag team match between the fabulous Rujos, that is Jacques and Raymond. I got that right. I had to stumble a bit. And the British Bulldogs, that's Davey Boy Smith, otherwise known as the British Bulldog later, and Dynamite Kid. Just a classic statement. Matilda the Bulldog is a good girl. And that's it. That's all I have to say on that one. Rujos go for a handshake early on, but why would you want to do that? Headbutts in the corner. A lot of athleticism by British Bulldogs. Little monkey flip cartwheel reversal during one of those moves was super cool. A lot of double team action, and I think the one thing that I hate from this match is there's a lot of like non-tags that just go that the ref doesn't care for. So, like, Dynamite Kid will just come in and start and be the legal man without tagging in all of a sudden. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's just me. Hot tag to Dynamite Kid, and Dynamite Kid goes, nuts with power. He's cool like that. Tosses Ramon to the outside. Running power slam by Davey Boy Smith, broken up by Jacques. Jacques with a back suplex. There's so many no-tag transitions, it's awful. I had to write, that was my quote. You can quote me on that one. Later on, gets a lot more wrestling holds. It slows down. It's a lot of Rougeau double team. Hot tag to Davey Boy, but ref doesn't see it. Now it doesn't count. There's no consistency with it. I didn't understand. Davey Boy press slams Jacques. Straight up sack first and crotches him on the rope. Headbutts him, but the match goes to a time limit draw after 20 minutes. And I'm fine with it. It was interesting to have your very first SummerSlam show start in a time limit draw, but it'd be like that sometimes. I'm still gonna give it 2.5 stars. I think it was still fine. The no tag transitions pissed me off a bit, but the action was good where I didn't mind it. Bad News Brown and Ken Patera, the former Olympian. Brown jumps Patera immediately, and Patera has very stiff offense, where it just looks like he's more Olympian and not like a sports entertainer, which I don't mind, because you got to have that legitimacy with it, but holy cow, it's weird. Superstar on commentary says Patera must forget the rules to win. I don't think that's how that works, but that's just me. Drop punch to the throat, gross looking clothesline by Patera. There's a lot of this is a very botchy match. There's a lot of just gross offense. And towards the end, there's a horrible botched Irish whip. It's just they don't have chemistry together. Bad News hits it was called the Ghetto Blaster. That is what the move was called. I hate it. It's just like a jumping neck kick and like an enziguri to win. I'll give it 1 star. It was barely a match, but we're counting it still. Next up, we got Ravishing Rick Rude taking on the Junkyard Dog. Now, this is always cool, and this entrance by Rude is seen in a lot of the WWE 2K games, where you see him like talking to the crowd, and he's gonna take his robe off and show him what a real man looks like. It was misogynistic gimmicks are funny. Rude is accompanied by Bobby the Brain Heenan. You'll see him a fair amount during this show. Junkyard's tights are pretty funny. I don't know why I wrote that. I'm just trying to remember that. Oh well. He drops Rude almost on his face and headbutts him out of the ring because, he's a dog. Rude with double axe handle and just a lot of punishment early on. The Superstar spends the whole match talking about how thick JYD's head is. I'm not sure, I get it, it's like part of his shtick, but, maybe we don't need that all the time. Just saying. JYD headbutt, Rude capitalizes with a neck breaker, drops a fist first, climbs the turnbuckle, and tries to slip off his tights to reveal a different set of tights with Cheryl Roberts, the wife of Jacob the Snakeub. It was really weird. Drops and does like a diving fist. But the match ends in DQ as Jacob the Snake Roberts comes out to attack Rick Rude. Maybe a little foreshadowing. We don't know. I'll give it 1.5 stars. The action was fine, but it seemed kind of slow at points. The DQ finish really didn't add to it. I don't remember what happened out of this, but it was a match. The Bolsheviks, Nikolai Volkov, and the other guy, I forget his name off the top of my head, I'll fix that in editing, accompanied by the Doctor Style Slick, taking on the Powers of Pain, accompanied by the Baron, aka Baron von Raschke. That was a pretty cool reference. Volkov does what he does before every match and sings the Russian national anthem. Could you believe it? The Powers of Bane, which are the Warlord, the Barbarian. This is just kind of like a giant Hoss tag team fight. It's not very athletic in any possible way, and Nikolai Volkov is known to not bump a ton. But yeah, Barbarian with a quick throat thrust. Gorilla Monsoon says he has Excedrin headache number 5. I don't know what the fuck that means. Warlord with a large gut wrench suplex. Volkov with a little stuttering. Almost missed the timing to break up the pin. And then just a lot of double team action. The managers kind of face off, which is super cool. Volkov hits this disgusting attempt at a roundhouse kick. Hot tagged, but Warlord gets out of it. Hot tagged Barbarian, a slamming machine. Volkov can't take a bump for his life still. Double flying tackle, scoop slam, flying headbutt, and the Powers of Pain win. You might be asking yourself why I'm running through these matches so quickly. It's a combination of these matches are very quick because it's the 80s, but also not a lot was happening in these matches. I'm going to give the match 1.5 stars. I hate Nikolai Volkov. It's just a statement I'm sticking to. And the match really wasn't memorable. Next up, we have an open challenge by the Honky Tonk Man for his Intercontinental Championship. Fun fact, this is supposed to be Brutus the Barber Beefcake, but he was injured. So before the match and now during, he's like, anyone in the locker room, like, I'm a fighting champion, I'm cool, I'm hip, I'm Elvis essentially. Who's it gonna be? And in runs in the Ultimate Warrior, and everyone just kind of like goes nuts. And yeah, it's a 30-second squash match. Clothesline, diving splash. Ultimate Warrior wins the Intercontinental title. Now, normally, like as a match, 0 stars because there was nothing to it. It was a 30-second match. But I'm gonna give everything as a whole 2.5 stars because it is a very memorable moment. It is one of the 2 big memorable moments from this show. And I think it did a lot for Warrior's career because he fueled that and held it onto that Intercontinental title for a while. I forget if he lost it before his WrestleMania 6 match with Hogan. Next up, we got Don Morocco and Dino Bravo. I forgot that Don Morocco was called The Rock. I didn't know that. Sorry, Dwayne. Bobby Heenan joins commentary for this one because he is needed in the main event. And Superstar Billy Graham calls out Jesse Ventura, who is the special referee for the main event. And Dino Bravo is accompanied by Frenchie. Could you imagine if that gimmick was done today? I couldn't. Dino the thing I don't like about Dino Bravo is he doesn't sell a lot of offense. Morocco is very athletic, does a monkey flip, jumping arm drags. He's a very athletic for a man of his size. But Dino sells almost all of it. Frenchie holds up a USA is not okay sign, which is hilarious. Commentary does not care for this match. Commentary does not call the match at all. It's just the Brain and Superstar kind of like going at each other about like which of these guys are stronger, and Gorilla Monsoon is trying his best. I genuinely did not write a lot of notes for this match because the commentary didn't care and the fans also did not care. All I know is that Dino hit a side suplex and wins, and Dino and Frenchie kind of celebrate. I'll give it 1 star. It was no one paid attention to this match. Next up for the WWF Tag Team titles, we have Demolition defending against Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart of the Hart Foundation. Demolition is accompanied by both Mr. Fuji and the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Could you believe it? This is one of the better matches on the show. Smash and Hitman have a great beginning sequence, and Neidhart and Axe also go at each other. Axe throws Bret into the turnbuckle shoulder first, hard as fuck. Turn attention to the shoulder, and that's where they target a lot of their offense. Hot tag Neidhart, but he's denied because the ref didn't see it because continuity. A lot more shoulder battering, and then a hot tag, which is seen, and Jim Neidhart is a house of fire. Slingshot tackle by the Foundation to the outside. Anvil with the power slam to a 2 count. Slingshot turnbuckle tackle also to a 2 count. Neidhart starts attacking Fuji. I don't know why. Demolition hit Bret Hart with a megaphone from Jimmy Hart, and that's how they win. They pin to win, and Demolition retains. Despite the shenanigans and the slightly overbooked nature of this match, I'm going to give it 3 stars. I think it is one of the better matches on the show. Just because they were given at least a fair amount of time to get offense in, and I think it showed. So, good on them. Next up, we got the Big Boss Man, who had just debuted, I think, a month or 2 prior to the show, taking on the Birdman, Coco Beware. Boss is accompanied by Slick, and Coco Beware is accompanied by his parrot, Frankie. Gotta love parrots, am I right? Big Boss Man ties himself up in the ropes after a beginning sequence. I don't know why. Like, I feel like he was supposed to get tied up, but he didn't get it all the way fully. So he tied himself up, like an idiot, you know? Coco goes at him with strikes. Boss gets out, hits a corner splash, and a stiff-ass clothesline, but stops his own pin because, large man. This match is very slow. Boss Man misses a splash, but no-sells the miss, making me wonder if he was supposed to make it. Misses a corner splash and deliberately crotches himself as his shirt unbuttons. Hilarious. Coco Beware with a massive flying dropkick to the face and a splash to a 2 count. Coco tries for a crossbody, but Boss catches him, tosses him off. I don't know what it was, but he hits the Big Boss Slam to win. This match gets a half star. This match was garbage tier because Boss Man is still so green that he slightly doesn't know what he's doing. There's a fair amount of botching and deliberate fucking with himself, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good in any way. And I love Coco, but holy cow, that was bad. Your semi-main event of the evening is Jake the Snake Roberts taking on Hercules. Holy cow, how is this the semi-main event? You could have had either title match be the semi-main event, and it would have been much better, but I guess we're doing this. Okay, sure. Early on, Hercules knees Jake in the face and straight up bips him. Roberts doing what he does best and plays mind games early on, but it's a weird one. Hercules back suplex, but Snake holds on for that reverse headlock, which always looks super cool. The match is mainly chin locks and wrestling holds, which is okay. I guess we're doing that. That's a fun one. Jake goes for a DDT, but he's dropped by Hercules. A little more offense, and Roberts sneaks a DDT and pins to win. Because the match was genuinely that long. The match was probably about 4 minutes. I don't know the official time. I'll get that later. But it felt like about that. I still give it 2 stars because Jake is still in the condition where he could hold this match, which is nice. Your main event of the evening is the debut of the Mega Powers, Hulk Hogan and the WWF Champion, Macho Man Randy Savage, accompanied by Miss Elizabeth. Taking on the Mega Bucks, it's Ted DiBiase and Andre the Giant, accompanied by Bobby the Brain Heenan and Virgil, who remembers Virgil, with guest referee Jesse the Body Ventura. Now, there was a lot of story leading up to this. Hogan helped Macho Man win the title WrestleMania 4, and then Macho Man chose Hogan as his mystery partner, and then they formed the handshake that earthquaked the world, and they formed the Mega Powers. During this match, you really see how immobile Andre is. He is really in bad shape. He just can't do it anymore. But DiBiase and Hogan have a great back and forth atomic drop, and they just kind of go back and forth. Andre catches Hogan and Savage from his corner, knocks them both out. Super cool. Andre does the big sit and just sits on Hogan because he's big. Do you get it? Front shoulder grip takes Hogan to his knees. DiBiase does multiple fist drops on Hogan, but to a 2 count. Hogan hulks up and has a double clothesline, hits the double down, hot tag to Savage as he unloads Fury. That leverage ring move diving axe handle to the outside as Savage just goes nuts for a bit. Andre tagged in, backsplashes Savage in the corner, sits on his head because he's large and does sits. Hot tag to Hogan, goes after DiBiase. Savage goes to the top, but Hogan chooses a new corner for... I think that was weird. Savage goes to the top, he's going to do his elbow, but Hogan says, no, don't go to that corner. Go to this one instead. This one's shinier. But he runs into Andre's boot. Both are thrown to the outside, and then all the managers climb the apron. Elizabeth, Virgil, Brain, all of that. Elizabeth they said that she has this secret weapon that she's going to do. And she takes her skirt off, because could you imagine anything else? It's the 80s. I'm going to read you exactly what I wrote for this bit, because I didn't believe it. It was Elizabeth takes her skirt off. Cool distraction, bro. That's it. Everyone is so distracted by this. How did this even work? It was just oh, no. I mean, I get her character was very I don't want to say conservative, but kind of. To where I guess oh, here we go, whamming. But everyone is so distracted, and I seriously don't understand how that worked. Savage hits an axe handle to Andre, falls outside, elbow drop to DiBiase, Hogan with a leg drop and Mega Powers win, and force Ventura to count the 3. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars regardless, because it is a big moment and it's a decent match. I don't understand how that worked, that distraction. That was dumb, and I hated it, but it was funny, and we liked that. My final grade for SummerSlam 88 is a C+. If you like old school style wrestling without all the flippy shit, then you'd like it more. I'm very 50-50 on it. Match of the night was easily the main event, just because it is a big moment, and compared to the rest of the matches, it did a lot better. Especially since you had Don Morocco and Dino Bravo, and Big Boss Man, which is garbage. MVP, this is the first time I think I've given an MVP to someone who wasn't in a match. MVP is Miss Elizabeth. Because how did that distraction... I'm still stuck on that distraction. How did that work? I didn't understand how you just pulled that off. But okay, we're doing it, I guess. But yeah, that'll do it for SummerSlam 88. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below for what classic show I should review next. Next time on the classic pay-per-view review, Stell wanted to watch a show he likes, and I respect that out of him. So he will be reviewing Evolution. What happens when Stephanie McMahon said, hey, let's have a pay-per-view only for women. And in all honesty, I've never seen Evolution, so I might watch the show with him too. But that'll do it for me. I hope you enjoy SummerSlam 2020, or if you want to go and watch SummerSlam 88 on the network, do it up. I don't give a shit. But anyways, I'm Papa Steam, and I will catch you on the flippy flips.